We are recording, guys. Thank you for joining us. I'm super excited about every call that we do every week. And I hope that you guys are excited. I say this every week, but I want to say this to you guys so that you kind of understand the way I'm thinking. I have, um,
8:31 she texted you, so it is 8:31 right now.
okay. Okay, cool. The biggest piece of these calls is multifaceted. Okay. It's to keep you encouraged, keep you committed, and to inspire you. Okay. And to keep you accountable. Look, guys, you have one, sometimes maybe two calls a week that you committed to, and one event, maybe two max a month. So here's what I'm going to challenge you guys to do. If you're on this call on a regular basis, I want you to do me a favor, because you guys, I'm going to have another guest on next week that's going to literally blow your mind. So I'm super excited about this call tonight, because before I introduce her, and
She's trying to go on right
okay, so Debbie's getting on right now. Before, I'm going to wait because I want to tell a little story about her before we get started. But before we get Debbie on, I just want to go over a couple more quick things. Guys, please get, some of you are on this call tonight. You're on almost every Sunday, and you still haven't registered for convention or the regionals. Please, I'm going to be reaching out to you this week, and I'm going to be asking you to commit. I'm going to be asking my Ohio team that's on here to get a group of people together. If you're a leader, you're going to be there. My Atlanta team, my people in Atlanta, I'm going to be there this week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay? Please, okay? Get committed to the regionals, guys. Get a group of people together and go together. Heck, Paulette texted me yesterday. Her husband has been in surgery, and she's going. She's going to get a group of people together. So it's up to you to see how committed you are. You're going to have two events and then our LVAs. Guys, please start going to LVA. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the rank advancements that are coming, we've had 2 Pro 10s. Now, month to month, back to back. We have another one, I think, that's getting really close. Tara Wilson's getting really close. And then a couple, and then Charlotte Venter. We had a 5-year gap of no Pro 10s. Now, new ones. But now, we're popping them left and right. Okay. So that should tell you something. I don't know if you went back and listened to any, Sherry just said it. We registered for convention and the regionals and LVA. Guys, that's somebody that's committed. Okay. And I'm just going to say this because she's working hard and we've had great conversations. Destiny sacrificed some things, put some things beside that she normally does, and is going to Building Depth with us next month. And I'm gonna say to her, I'm so freaking proud of her. Like, she sacrificed some things. I'm not gonna, she's getting there, Sherry. She's getting really close to Pro 10, yes. So she sacrificed a ton of things. She's texting me. Can you grab that and see what she and she's making a commitment. I'm just gonna tell you this. I have began to implement the things that people on these calls have talked about, and what I've learned from Blue and Tyler and Marcel over the last couple of months. And I can't even begin to tell you, I probably have close to 100 leads. How many of you on this call tonight would like to have 100 leads? All you have to do is implement what we tell you. Stacy and I spent 10 minutes. It's impossible. Everybody's just grab the phone and call her, please. Debbie's having some problems, so I don't know why I've never had problems with people trying to get on. So Lisa's going to take care of that. But let me just encourage you guys. Like, Lisa and I changed some plans because they had the regionals. We changed some plans, and we're going to Jacksonville. Hey, it's not as far for some of you guys, but it's a sacrifice. And we're planning a big event in Vegas. I'm just going to tell you this. I plan on taking 10 new people of my own to Vegas, maybe more. Okay. I'm in a competition with some of the other elites, and I'm going to take at least 10. My goal is 20. So those of you that have been hearing these calls week after week after week, okay, I'm preparing my message for Building Depth tomorrow. I'm super excited. I know the inspiration that comes from attending events and then coming home and implement it. Guys, do you know we have 29 elites speaking at Building Depth? Where do you ever, not even at a convention, not even at an elite academy, do you ever get to hear 29 elites speak in 2 days? Just telling you, okay? So let me encourage you guys. Is she on yet?
Yes.
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Debbie, are you on?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. It was
Awesome.
really weird.
That's okay. Wait a minute. Hold on one second. I'm trying to see if I can see you. Oh, there you are.
I can see her.
Okay, good. I don't know why I
My
can't.
Mardi Gras clothes.
Oh, there you are. Nice. Okay, I do see you now. Let me just, I'm going to do a quick introduction. You're in your Mardi Gras. I love it. I love it. So
Yeah, I didn't go to any parades, but I dressed the part today.
I love it. I love it. So let me just share a really quick story that really just blew me and Lisa away a couple months ago. For those of you that don't know my wife's story, just recently, Lisa found out, had the opportunity to meet her biological father, right? This is really a funny story because we just know that God knows what we need when we need it. And he kind of works those things out to continue to encourage us where we are and what we're doing, right? And so Lisa met her biological father, wanted to build a relationship with him, which is when you do that, to not know something for 50 years and then to be able to build that. Her dad is still her dad, but now she's having the opportunity, can you get some more, please? To build a relationship with a biological father. Well, so he comes and visits, and about halfway through, he says, "What do you and Lisa do?" And sorry, guys. I begin to tell him, and he says, "I think my doctor does something like that," right? And it's just funny, and I'm like, "Well, like, what's the chance of this?" He says, I said, "Well, who's your doctor?" And then he said, "My doctor is Dr. Deborah Viglione." And I said, "What?" And I said, "No way." He said, "Why? Do you know her?" And so Lisa and him are talking. And so I voice message Debbie and I tell her the story. Like, she's like, "Michael, you have to be kidding me. Like, that's incredible, right?" And Debbie and I are just, we love God and we love people, right? And for God just to put those connect, then Debbie proceeded to tell me, like, he was one of my favorite patients. Like, I tried to buy his house, like all these really cool, funny things, right? And it was really funny. I got last year, not this past year, but the year before last, I got to serve with Debbie in Mexico. We went on the Mexico trip to build houses with LifeVantage. We were the only ones in the gym in the mornings, actually, that worked out, which was kind of funny. But Debbie's just an awesome person. She I don't know. I'm going to share just a couple things with you guys about her so you can kind of just see what I see, because here's something that I've really known is that we are in a phase of people joining LifeVantage that have a lot of humility, a lot of integrity, right? And just passion for serving people and helping people. So I'm pretty impressed because when I thought I knew a lot about Debbie, and I found this one picture with like several of my amazing friends, right? Nancy is another one of my really good friends. Sharon Dominguez is another one of my really good friends, and just people that you get to do life with. And guys, I'm just going to tell you this. One of the greatest things about LifeVantage is the people that you get to do. Let's just look at things that Debbie's done. Wake Forest undergrad, University of North Carolina School of Medicine, Chapel Hill, right? Double board certified in integrative medicine and anti-aging regenerative medicine. Did stem cell fellowship, guys. The first one, right? So think about that, guys. I don't know if you guys know much.
Cutting edge.
Exactly. Like, just, what I thought about her, Lisa and I were talking about it, is that I see myself as a forward thinker like Brendan Bouchard. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Dr. Kelly and Arthur Lupsha were with Dr. Brett Brimhall at Brendan Bouchard's event this past weekend. And we were texting back and forth because months ago, I encouraged them to start doing some things outside of just being a biohacker, right? Like getting around influencers, building relationships. And then I saw her and Brett and Mark Shinsato were at this big event. And so I think Debbie's that type of person. Veteran of the first Gulf War in the Air Force. Wow. Like my friend Amanda Vasquez, who's a Pro 7 in LifeVantage also. So I'm going to probably just run some questions by her tonight. But the first thing I want to do before Deborah speaks is I want her to share her story with you. Because guys, here's the most powerful thing that you have in LifeVantage is your story, right? And every one of you, I just walked in the house before this call, and I was hearing a Navy SEAL speak tonight. And those of you that know anything about the Navy SEALs, they're some of the most incredible humans. The things they do blow my mind. And I'm good friends with two. One serving right now in South Korea, is supposed to be there for 6 months. He's been there over a year. He told me he's almost died 13 times. I mean, just the things that they go through. Chad Wright, who I was with tonight, got a medical discharge because he was constantly blowing things up. He was a frontline person in blowing doors off of things. And guys, think about it, how close you are to doing that, right? So he had some health issues, and they gave him a medical discharge. You know what? God pushed him into being able to inspire people. He didn't look at his circumstance and say, poor me. He said, God had a new season. And I believe that all of you are being surrounded with some amazing people. And I can't think of any better person for you guys to hear from somebody tonight that is passionate about people, is passionate about forward thinking. I know she loves God and she loves people. So Deborah, thank you for joining us tonight. I'm going to let you take it away, my friend. Have at it.
Hey, you're welcome. That was quite the intro. I'm like, do I know this person? But yeah, one thing you said really resonated with me. The best part, honestly, I mean, our products are unbelievable. Our company's unbelievable. But the best part of this whole thing has been the people that I've met. And they are my best friends. You won't know it until you get into it. And I know it sounds like it's a cult, but it's not a cult, because I've definitely studied those. We're nothing like that, but it's more like a fraternity or sorority. I mean, we are forward thinkers. We care about people. We want to help and change the world. I mean, it's a common mission. And if you don't fit into our, oh God, what's the word I'm looking for? Our culture. If you don't fit into that, you don't last. Yes, you don't last in our company. We are not, it's not about the money. It's not, that stuff's great. It's not about all the things that you can accumulate when you make money. It's nothing about that. It's about giving back. It's about changing the world. And these people are just amazing. I mean, I can't go on long enough, and you just have to join us to see what we're talking about and go to an event, and you'll never be the same. So based on that, I guess my story really starts in childhood. I wanted to be a healer. I feel like God puts things into you, and I saw myself healing people. It's kind of funny because you brought up the Bigelow thing. I talked to my mom. Both my parents were ministers, by the way. And I said, Mom, why does the Bible say that people lay their hands on and they're healed? And why is it not happening? And I got some kind of dispensationalist talk, meaning, that was for Bible days. It's not now. But that always bothered me, because I felt like God created us better. It's better, So I decided, okay, I'm going to go into medicine because I want to heal people. And medical school is really exciting. We learned about all the diseases and, all these things. I kept thinking, okay, I'm going to heal people. And I went into internal medicine because medicine, it's funny because everybody kind of glorifies surgeons, but in the medical field, internists are at the highest because we understand disease, and everybody relies on us to help them figure out what's going on. Surgeons always consult an internist because they don't know how to take care of patients. And that's horrible to say, but that's the truth. So I found out very quickly that we were just treating symptoms. We were not fixing people. We were making them better, but we weren't getting to the root of the problem and helping their bodies heal. And so I ended up kind of dabbling in nutritional medicine because when I was in the military, and during that time I practiced intensive care medicine, hospital medicine, battlefield medicine, and did that very well. When I got out in the civilian world, I'm doing intensive care medicine and hospital medicine a great deal. And I started having patients come to me with these bizarre illnesses, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, Gulf War illness. And I had been in the Gulf War, and so I was seeing people, and I started to see them before I got out with these mystery illnesses. And probably because of my military connection and my desire to help vets, I started delving in deeper, trying to find out what's going on with these people, because conventional medicine was just giving them antidepressants and saying that they had a psychological problem. And I knew it was more than that. So that was in the early 90s. And it started me on my quest to learn more about what they call functional medicine, the systems of the body, how they operate, how you can support them nutritionally, how you can detox of these various chemicals. And I was kind of bumping along. And then as life would have it, or God has it, you get an interruption. And I had literally just birthed my third child, Emily, and I get a phone call from my father with dreadful news that my mother had this aggressive form of ovarian cancer. I hadn't even delivered the placenta. And I'm like, Dad, can I call you back? And that really catapulted me, because I knew conventional medicine had no answer for her. And I really tried to save her and was unsuccessful. That really cuts to the core when you're a healer and you can't save your own mom. But at the point I was sitting, you're struggling, because medicine, as you've seen, the average time you spend with a physician is about 6 minutes. If you look at it nationwide, and you can't do anything other than hear one problem and give a refill in that time. And I'm sitting here with all these very sick people. What am I going to do with my life? And I realized at that point, God was telling me that I need to learn more about this. I need to help people heal. And so instead of kind of fighting it at that point, I embraced it and said, this is God's call on my life. I need to learn more. And that really is what launched my career. But the next big thing happened when I was introduced. Are we allowed to talk about Life Vanters on this call? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. This
Yeah,
is routine
compliance
life,
is, compliance is.
I've kind of, so just so you know, Debbie, I did a 2-part series with our team the last couple of weeks with everybody on here about the compliance and stuff. So you're allowed to, because we just share this with our team. So you're good.
Okay. So what I'm doing as far as compliance, guys, is I'm starting series of scientific type things to educate people. But the opportunity part's it's gonna be the teams. You have to get with people one-on-one or have business meetings. Basically the science and the business have to be separate, unfortunately. But anyway, so I had been giving people literally anywhere between 25 and 35 natural supplements when they would leave my office, along with the prescription medicines they were already on. And that is not fun. Nobody wants to take all those pills. And Dr. Sean McKee has a really good story, because that's what her integrative physician did with her. And Dr. Sean McKee.
Deb, I took 31. Lisa and I, she took about 20. I took about 31. And being a nutritionist, that's
well, yeah. I mean, all you have to do is read the ads, and you think, oh, I need this, I need this, I need this, and before you know it, you're on 40 different things. So I was getting people better. Mind me, I was definitely improving their health as opposed to what I was doing before I started doing integrative medicine, but I wasn't getting where I wanted to be. And when Dr. Sean McKee, we were actually at the World Congress for Anti-Aging in Las Vegas, and was introduced to LifeVantage and the technology. Now, that was purely science, but when I heard that we could reduce oxidative stress 40% in 30 days and was shown the slides, I literally had one of those Holy Spirit moments, got chills all over my body, almost fell out of my chair. And I realized God was giving me an answer. he was giving me an answer not only to helping my issues, my family's issues, but all my patients and also my financial woes, because I was in a horrible financial position at the time. And that's another phone call. But, I realized he was giving me answers, and joined the company. I bought $2,500 worth of product and just, sold it to patients, and had no intention of doing anything with the business, but couldn't wait. Instead of seeing if something would happen, I couldn't wait to see what happened, because I knew, you know, all these skeptics, it's unbelievable to me. If we're on PubMed and we have data like that, there's no skepticism anymore. It's like, I knew this product worked. I just wanted to see it work.
Amen.
And that's what I've done. And it's changed everything about my practice, because now I don't send people out with that many things. I put them on gene activators. I help their body, their cellular health improve. And then I add as I need to for specific things. And I'm getting much better results than I ever got before. One of the things, I was listening to something like you were earlier, but they were talking about health span. And health span is basically leading a healthy, long life. And he said there's 3 things. You want high performance in your mobility. Absolutely. You need your body to move. You need it to do the things you want it to do, which involves mitochondrial health, reducing oxidative stress, and improving your NAD, which we can do. You want to improve your cognitive health. Check mark. We got that too. What is it? High performance cognitive health. We have a great neurologist here that thinks outside the box. He has a year-long waiting list. That tells you America's sick. And then the third part, which, right or wrong, it's reality, is the aesthetics. You have to improve your aesthetics. And when you start improving your cellular health inside, the outside does improve. But face it, you can't get a job at 90 years of age interfacing with the public. Nobody wants you. You've got to look as youthful as you are inside. So those are the 3 areas of health that we want to improve with our health span. And it's basically cellular health, cellular medicine. So cellular health is improving the cells, which then improves the organ, the systems, and then the body as a whole. And then cellular medicine is they're talking about regenerative medicine, stem cells. So if you have an organ that's beyond, help, cellular medicine comes in. You can actually do things with stem cells. But these things go hand in hand, nutrigenomics and cellular medicine. So that's basically where we are today. And yeah, I'm forward thinking. I'm always, on the edge, and I look at everything critically. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that I'm just like, no, but
Well,
I'm
Deb,
excited about this.
Now, let me ask you this. So here's one of the things I like about interactive. So Deb being a forward thinker. So Deb and I obviously have, Deb, how long have you been in LifeVantage?
I thought it was 6 years, but everybody's telling me it was 5.
Okay.
Don't
speed.
I got my years wrong.
Don't speed it up.
Yeah.
It's actually coming up on 9 for Lisa and I think it's coming up on 9 for us, which is crazy. But
yeah, it goes by so fast.
Yeah. Well. So here's what's really cool. So if you guys think about this, so Deb and us, we joined way back when we had not what we have now, and I don't know. So think about, I talked to Brian Dixon about this, and I just want to hear your opinion. Just let me preface it first, and then I want you to share. Is when I had been studying NAD for years, and I found some things, but never really anything that. Most of it was just precursors. There was nothing that was increasing my sirtuins significantly, maybe 20%. Some, if I really took like a whole bunch of it, it was like 30. I did the fasting and everything. Maybe it was like 40%, but nothing 100%. And I said to Brian, when we were in Long Beach, we were at a nighttime party, and he had just been with the company, and I said, I have a question. And he said, and he knew my name, which is funny. When people know your name, you know you're gonna have a long-term relationship with them, right? And so I said, I have a question. I said, being a science person, do you think that adding NAD to nerve 1 and nerve 2 will make them more effective? And this is what he said. He said, why do you say that? And I told him I'd been researching it. And he said, I can't tell you, but you're pretty smart, he said. And then when the study came out, showed that you know, we've always said that it's 1-to-1, and now it looks like it's 15 million to 1, right? Like when you look at the new study and you look at the synergy effect and how it affects those different things. I mean, we just took the greatest natural product in history and made it 15 times better. So Deb, talk about that, because not only does Nerve 2 work better, but Nerve 1 works better. And just I didn't think things could get better, but when I saw NAD and I did my research and I saw the study and I did my own thing, like, it's mind blowing. And just maybe at the end, talk maybe a bit about the cumulative effects, like how when we take our products longer, the better the results get. You know, like like we told our landlord, he's 80. And so we told him that he needs to take it 1 month for every decade that he's been alive, you know, to really get the cumulative effects. And he's like, 8 months? Like, you know,
Yeah.
because most people are like, we used to think, like, I need something that works now. I need something like this, right? So tell me your thoughts on that and how exciting that is.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have a culture that wants an instant fix. And
Yes.
this is not an instant fix. You're working with your body of cumulative decades of toxins, you know, that you've accumulated. You can't undo that overnight. And, you know, they think when you take a medication, if, you know, they expect instant results. That's not going to be the same with us. And when we get, say, an unpleasant side effect, it's not like a medication. It doesn't mean you can't take it. It just means your body's cleaning up, and it's actually a good thing. And you need to work with your body to help eliminate all these poisons and toxins and all this kind of stuff you've accumulated. But yeah, the synergy, and I don't think a lot of people in our company even understand that each product alone is a synergy. It's not the ingredients alone. You can buy those ingredients in a bottle and not get what our product does. It's a precise recipe, like baking a cake. If you put too much or too little of something in a cake, you don't end up with a nice cake. You're not going to end up activating those genes by altering the recipe. And so a lot of people don't understand that it's very important how you take these. For instance, NRF2 cannot be taken with an antioxidant, vitamin C especially, because if you do, it's not going to work. You have to think of that as a thermostat in your body. It's always checking to see what your antioxidant status is. So if you take an antioxidant with it, it's not going to turn on NRF2. It thinks it's not needed. That's the big difference between old technology and new technology. Antioxidants are not solving the problem. You have to activate NRF2. So don't turn it off with an antioxidant. If you want to take a multivitamin or an antioxidant, take it 6 or 8 hours away from your NRF2. Now, the study that showed, the other thing you need to know is, because it's a precise recipe, any of the ingredients and any of the 3 products cannot be taken within 2 hours of those, or it won't work because you've altered the recipe. So very important. The best thing to do is take all 3 together. You can take vitamin D with it. You can take our fish oil. You can take our probiotic. But just stick to that, because then you know you're going to do the precise activations, get the optimal activations of your genes. And the synergy, we call it a tri-synergizer that upregulated this, like you said, 1,500% or whatever. It was studied taking all 3 products together.
Yep.
So for all of us that have been in the company for a long time, we don't know. Like, I used to like to take NRF1 in the morning, NRF2 at bedtime. It's probably not going to get that supersized effect if you don't take them all together. So you're going to have to alter your routine to take all 3 at once.
I take my NAD
You just got
before I
Lisa.
walk out the door,
You
and
just
then I
got-
take my NRF1 and my NRF2 like 3 hours later.
I've been trying to say those things, but I mean,
we don't know
really
the answer.
bad.
Maybe you'll get it, but considering the NRF2 turns the pathway on for 6 to 8 hours, if you take the other pill 10 hours away, you're not going to get that synergistic effect. So
It's like turning your air conditioning up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down.
Right. You gotta change it. And that's the messaging that I brought up this weekend to the scientific advisory board, because I got a message from somebody who's been in the company for a good time and has gone to events, and he did not know that you can't take vitamin C with our NRF2. And I said, so we've got some problems. We're not getting the message out effectively. So we've got, I want to put it in our packaging. I don't know how compliance will be with that, but we need to be able to instruct people how to take these products properly, because some of the attrition that we may get from our customer base is they're not seeing results because they're not taking it correctly.
Taking the products
And
right.
I've seen that in my practice countless times.
I've seen it, Deb, so much. It's unbelievable, because I was probably one of the most hyper enrollers when we first started this company. I think I enrolled over 500 customers myself.
Wow.
Not being a doctor, and just being a nutritionist and a health coach, but and some of them I think I have close to 90 customers that I've had for over 5 years. Why? Because I educated them on the value of taking the products correctly.
Right.
And I want to ask you one more question, because about 2 years ago, 2.5, actually almost 3 years ago now, I got food poisoning, and I tried everything. I went through Dr. Gundry's program. I did Viome, and that, I'll just say that Viome really did help me, because I've always been, I'll be 52 this year, Deb, and I don't feel or look 52. Like, I'm crushing my goals in my health, and I'm the fittest I've ever been. And but one of the things I realized is that I had a gut problem. I got food poisoning, and I tried everything. And then I when the prebiotic came along, it literally changed everything. Lisa and I figured out we probably spent $5,000 on Dr. Gundry stuff and all this stuff, and then I'm taking 3 probiotics in the morning and I'm changing it all around. And then the prebiotics came, and Brett and I have become pretty close, and we talk a lot. And he explained to Lisa and I about the seeds and the fertilizer. I had the seeds, but I had no fertilizer to manifest. Can you share maybe a little bit? Because I know a lot of us have gut issues, and we don't realize that that's our second brain, and that the majority of the issues that we struggle with now with an ultimate stack, which I probably spent even though I spend a lot of money on LifeVantage products now, I probably spent more when we were taking glutathione. I used to take 12 glutathione tablets a day, and I remember coughing them up, and like the dust would come up. Like, Lisa's like, why do you still take that stuff for, right? Like, you get a coughing thing and you're like, it didn't digest, you're like, and then the smoke flows, right?
Yeah.
And it's glutathione, right? And she would laugh at me. And the funny thing is that it's because it wasn't getting into my gut, and it wasn't activating anything, right? It was filtering out through my urine and not even really digesting. So can you talk a little bit about the power of why we have to take, like, I'll be honest with you. People ask me all the time, financially, let's just say I can only take 3
I know.
products. I can only take 3 products. This is me, and this may be something different for everybody else, but I think Nerve 2, prebiotic, and probiotic for me, if I could only take 3. Now, obviously, I think everybody should take an ultimate stack. My whole family does. Lisa's family does. Lisa's dad just was diagnosed with Parkinson's, fell and broke his hip. Her mom started giving her a tri-synergizer, and now he's going home a week early from having hip surgery, right? So, just putting it in applesauce and sticking it in his mouth because he can't swallow. Brett Brimhall said, Mike, just take the tri-synergizer, crush it up, pull the capsules apart, put it in there, and just stick that whole thing in his mouth, right? So can you talk a little bit about the gut? Because I know it's a passion of yours, because I've heard you talk about it. I know that you have your mindset about it, and that, can you just share with people? Because a lot of us think we know, but I don't think we really know.
Now, I agree. Like, back in the 90s when all that stuff went on, I was sending poop studies on people, and I said, I know you think I'm weird, but think about it. If your gut isn't healthy, the rest of you can't be healthy because you can't absorb your nutrients. Nope. So I've been looking at poop for years. But one thing I've noticed, because back in the old days, I'd give them a probiotic. And my idea was, you take a probiotic for a few months, you fix the gut, you move on. Didn't happen, because guess what? Glyphosate, Roundup entered our environment. And when you eat something that has glyphosate in it, like a corn-fed hamburger, you've blown your tight junctions apart 16 minutes later. So it's impossible, unless you live in a bubble, to have a completely tight, sealed, healthy gut. So you've got to combat it every day, all day long. And so Everybody needs a probiotic every day, but guess what? What I'm seeing, because I make people go off their probiotics for 5 days to check their poop, those bacteria aren't staying around.
Nope.
Our product has been proven to deliver 60% to 85%, depending on whether you take it on an empty or full stomach. But that stuff it's not staying put. You have to have a prebiotic. I attended the functional medicine gut conference a couple years ago, and they talked about prebiotics extensively. And you'll see these programs like what you did, Dr. Gundry. There's several of them out there. Been there, done that. If you don't put a prebiotic and a quality probiotic together and take it regularly, you're not going to keep your gut healthy. And I hate to say that. One of the things we're working with the SAB is I have not gotten regular with my prebiotic, knowing how important it is. I live in Florida, and the stuff crystallizes. I mean, it becomes like hard as a rock. So we're talking about making sachets like we do with Axio. I think if we did that, it would be so much better, because you could put it in your purse. You're going to remember to do it. You can mix it with your Axio, but you really do need to do this. And one of the things that comes up a lot is, well, if you take a prebiotic, you're going to feed the bad bacteria. Okay, same thing with cancer. You take NAD, you take NRF2, you take NRF1, you're going to feed the cancer. Well, yeah, but are you going to feed your own cells? You can't get healthy if you don't have a healthy gut and healthy normal cells. You cannot starve them, or you're going to lose the battle. So you got to feed the normal.
Perfect. That and you know what? So I literally, Deb, after trying all this stuff, and I've never really had any health issues. Like I had blood clots, which was a genetic thing from my father. My mother had it. My grandfather had it. And I reversed it. And the doctor still to this day doesn't understand it. But I did it. My father had heart disease. We reversed his heart disease, right? With really sucks is he still won't listen to me about his eating habits, because he still eats carbs like crazy. But the piece of that understanding, when we got the prebiotic, and I have my regimen down now, I'm so glad that they put the Tri-Synergizer in those little packets now, right? And I'll be honest with you, I wish they had an ultimate stack in the packets, and they just put the prebiotic in the packet, and we could just open it all up and just go like this, right?
Yeah.
And literally, I would be okay with taking an Axio pack and going like that too, to be honest with you, because just getting all of it in at once, and how you feel and how you perform is really good. So, hey, look, can I take 2 minutes, maybe one or two questions? I know maybe one or two people that might have something.
Sure.
Let me
I
just
wanted to share something else.
No,
though.
go ahead. Go
On
for
your
it.
on your story about Lisa's dad.
Emmerich, about
You
Emmerich.
left out the fact that my daughter was best friends with his granddaughter. I mean, they hung out all throughout high school together.
Wow.
So it was pretty doggone cool, all the little connections there.
That was so good. We actually we're actually I don't know if you knew, but Lisa and I moved from Clearwater over to Claremont area, over towards Orlando. So we've only been here 4 weeks, and we moved into this big house over on the water. And we're going to actually get him to come down and spend some time with us. We have extra room for him. So my mom,
April or May?
yeah, in April, May, is going to come for a couple weeks and stay with us.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so those are good. Let me just ask you guys, does anybody have maybe just one or two people? I know we've got close to 35 people on the call, so that's awesome. But there's some guys see people are getting emotional on the call, and look, guys, please keep it to let's don't make it like a big science question or something that's significantly. Maybe it's just something that like Dave just said, 6 degrees of separation. Guys, think about it. Think about and you know what's really funny, Deb, that you brought that up. I took Lisa to see a movie the other day called The Photographer, and guess on Valentine's Day, and guess what it was about? A girl finding out who her biological father was. Not a good movie to take as an adult. Same like Lisa, like 40 some years later. And here's the funny thing about it is that she cried. I'm like, it's Valentine's Day. She cried from the start of the movie all the way through the end of the movie. I'm like, should have watched the previews. Like, what are you thinking, right? That's a movie you go like not on Valentine's Day to watch, right? Like, should have. I mean, I'm like this with tissues.
Yeah.
It's like a constant. Yeah. Like I'm glad I like butter. So I have all these tissues. I didn't use them. I just kept going like this, like handing them over. So, does anybody, oh yes, so somebody just said take all four, take everything in the vitality or the ultimate stack in the morning. Deb, is that what you would think?
I think that's really the best way to do it. Just, you got it in there, and you're not going to forget later on. Now, the prebiotic, if you're trying to lose weight, is better to do before your biggest meal, because then you probably won't be as hungry. But the bottom line is you need to get it in. And so usually, at least for me, if I do it first thing in the morning, I know I've got it in.
Okay. I will just tell you this. I tried something the last couple of weeks that really worked really good. Obviously, the scooper is this little small thing. So I take half of it in the morning and half of it in the evening. And
the other
seems to work really
problem
good.
that we may run into is some people are sleepy with the NRF1, and there's just a small set that are sleepy with the NAD. In that case, you might have to shift it to take it at night. And
I have to take NRF1 at night. I have to take NRF1 at night, but it's weird. So yeah, I go back and forth.
Yeah, either you've got to do NRF1, NRF2 at night together twice a day. I mean, if the NAD keeps you up, then you're obviously going to have to do that in the morning and the other two at night, and you're going to miss that supersizing effect. But it is what it is. You got to do what your body tells you.
So here's what I did. I moved the NAD to a little bit later, and then I tested it for a couple of days because I'm a science guy anyway. I'm a science geek. Lisa will tell you, because I want to be ahead of everybody, and I want to know. I want to be able to help people who have different opinions. So I tried it different ways just to see what would feel the best. And Dondi Nettles and I were talking about how it's good to document how you feel of taking the things at different times. So I took the NAD the other day at 2:00 because I knew I had that 6-hour window. And so I took NAD and NRF1 or NRF2, and then 6 hours later I took NRF1, and I was completely fine. And I didn't have that crash at 3:00. So yeah. So let me see one or two questions real quick. Who has a question? Tracy, you have a question? There's a bunch of them typed out. Let me just see. Okay.
So
Go ahead.
super quick. I'm in Mexico. I've got a person that was on NRF1, NRF2. I gave her Axio. She loves the Axio, but she's not taking the NRF1 and the NRF2 because of some issue. And I said, what you're doing just by taking the Axio, yes, it's going to your brain and you're thinking you're actually helping your body, but you're really not. You need to take the NRF1 and the NRF2 along with the Axio.
Did she say why she wasn't taking it, Tracy?
Yeah, because the person that is her distributor lives in a different part of Mexico and brings it to her. She's not getting it shipped to her address. And I have a meeting scheduled with her and her granddaughter to translate.
What's your question? Are you asking that should she?
I want clarification that she needs. She must.
Yes, she does. Axio is great, but it's not going to do what the other two do.
So when I explained to her, because I've already explained to her that she needs to take both, I said to her, when you stop taking it, there is, you go backwards, don't you? That's my understanding.
There's a cumulative effect, yes.
Right.
Is there a certain time frame?
Well, Dr. McCord said within 2 weeks, you're back to the level of oxidative stress you started with. Now, say you've been on it for 6 years and your body's done a tremendous amount of detox and healing. You stop it for 2 weeks. No, you're not going to go back to where you were 6 years ago, but you've got oxidative stress built up again. So you're going to start doing damage again.
Yes.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
Debbie, probiotic, the prebio better with a full or empty stomach?
Which one? The probiotic's better with an empty. I'm not sure about the pre. I think they said take it before a big meal.
I think they're both are best.
Yeah, I think they're best. Yeah, but I mostly take my probiotic with food in the morning because that's just when I get it in.
Hey, now I will let Destiny ask you this question because her mic is not working, but this is a good question. I think you'll even maybe can share this with the people on the Science Advisory Board. Her grandmother is on dialysis. Okay. And we know that people have taken it before on dialysis because she's not on anti-rejection meds, I don't think. And maybe, I don't think, but she said her phosphate levels went up to 9, even with phosphate binders. And she's been itching a lot. She doesn't want to tell the doctor she's taking it but she decided to stop after 6 days. So what are your thoughts? You think maybe it's because of the phosphate, or what are your thoughts? Do you know much about that?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with our product. I mean, I can't see why it would. We don't have phosphate in the product.
All right,
no, I'm just baffled.
I'll email.
I've got some thoughts on that, Destiny, because
You can
I
connect
know
with Lisa.
somebody who did have some itching. They weren't even a dialysis patient, but they did have some itching. And basically, they were sensitive to one of the ingredients. They stopped it for like 2 days and then just reintroduced it as like a quarter tab
Sean
for a
McKee
few
talks about
days,
that.
half a tab for a few days. And then after that, they were totally fine.
Yeah, and if you guys have never listened to Sean McKee talk about how you can reintroduce it, a quarter of a pill, then or an eighth of a pill, a quarter of a pill, a half a pill, and then 3/4, and then on up that way. That's a really good way of introducing it. So.
Right. I mean, she could have some liver congestion. She's trying to mobilize a toxin, and so you got to slow it down a little bit because that can cause itching. Hey, somebody asked about fat burn. Yes, fat burn's okay to take with all of it.
Okay. She said she read the bottle and said calcium phosphate. I don't know which one she would be talking about. Do you?
It's such
It's a binder,
minute
right?
amounts. It's so minute. It just can't be that. It's so little.
That's what I told her. Well, guys, I'm going to let Debbie run and then we'll finish the call. But Debbie, thank you so
You're welcome.
much. Guys, let's, if you can see, let's give Debbie a hand clap. I think it's great that we get to do business with people that we just love. And Lisa and I are so grateful for you. We love you. And if we can ever serve you in any way, in any way, shape, or form, let us know. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Well, guys, one thing you could do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. Then you'll be notified when I post videos.
All right. I will absolutely do that. So thank you so much. We love you.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Bless you.
Right, bye-bye.
Right. Okay, guys. Did you guys hear what Debbie said? Lisa's going to show you how to do it. You go to her YouTube channel. You can join her YouTube channel. Guys, great information tonight, right? Great information. But so here's your next thing you want to do. Let's go out and let's make an impact in some people's lives. Now, I want to share something before we go. Okay. I know we still have about 10 minutes left, but I want to share just real quick. Stacy and I were talking about this earlier. Guys, Facebook Messenger is a great way to get on the phone or talk to people and build relationships with you. Stop sending people emails. People do not want to read your emails. They do not. They want to talk to you. Okay? Texting, emails, and Facebook Messenger is not communication. You will lose 80% of your contacts and your leads if you don't get on the phone with them. And after that, then you get guys, I talk to people first, and then I share the information with them. Then I get them on a presentation in a third-party phone call. I'll tell you this, what you should start doing, I just told Stacy this. Go to Calendly.com and sync it up, get a Gmail email address and sync it up and start making appointments with people. It's the only way you're going to know that you are constantly getting on the phone and talking to people. And if you do it right in Facebook Messenger, there's a little phone and a video app at the top. You can click on, you can call the person or you can video chat them. You can also, let's just say it's me and Vic and Tracy. And Vic is in Facebook Messenger app. You can go to the Facebook Messenger app. I'm going to show you guys really quick because this is so important. And I'm sad that some people left because I was hoping you guys would be able to see this, but I want to be able to show you guys this because it's really quick and really easy. So let me just show this to you really quick because I think it'll be important for you guys to see how this works. Okay. So let me just show you guys this really, really, really quick. Okay. And then you guys can take off. Let me just show you this because I think it's important and I think you guys will get a lot out of it. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. So up here on your Facebook page, you're going to click on this right here and where it says new group. All right. You're going to make a group of people. So let's just say it's Ben Powell and my wife. Okay. I'm going to click create. All right. And then down here, you can see it says Ben and Lisa. All right. If I click this video, it'll send Lisa a notification and Ben a notification that we are doing a video chat. All they have to do is click it on to go into the room, okay? This is the way you should do all of your calls, because guess what happens when that call is over? That messenger does not go away. What if the person that you're doing the call for doesn't follow up with the person? Who can build a relationship with that person and remind the other person to follow up with them? You can. Why? Because it stays in your messenger, okay? I go back and look twice a week and look at three-way calls and just say, Daniel has a girl right now, Stephanie. I say, hey, Steph, how you doing? How are things going? She just went through a breakup. I ask her, I don't spend any time talking about the business or anything else. I'm building a relationship with her so that Daniel can lead her into the business, okay? Guys, it's called relationship building. You build relationships with people. And then I can click this off. I didn't call or send it, but that's how you do it. And then those messages are right in a group. See it right here where it says Ben Powell and Lisa Huey? They're right there, right? That is exactly how you do this, okay? Yes, Stephen, there is. You can, when you go on your phone, you can look at recent messages and you can look at them here. You can click on a group. It's easier to do on your, you can search by the person's name, and it's easier to do on your phone. So if you go on your phone on the Facebook Messenger app, you can just search by the person's name and all of the conversations that you have with that person will pop up. Does that make sense? Stephen? Make sense? Okay, cool. I can't see you, so I don't know. Did that make sense, Stephen? You give me thumbs up? Okay, cool.
There, I'm unmuted. Yes. Thank you,
cool.
Michael.
Yeah, just go to the Facebook Messenger app is the best way to do that. Does anybody have a question about that or any of what we've talked about tonight before we go?
When you press that video, does it then make you actually see each other, or is it just a voice thing?
No, it's video. That's what okay. The voice one is just voice, but if you click the video, like if let's say Mike and Lisa and I want to have a communication about some things. If I make a group with those and we make a date of when we're going to talk, it will send all three of us a reminder that we have a phone call. How many of you would like to be reminded that you have a three-way phone call? I'm raising my hand, right? Because then you have another way of doing it. That's why Facebook Messenger is the best way to do these calls, because you have a way to go back and follow up with people. You have a good way of so here's another way to do this. Whenever Destiny, I do a call with her, she takes the person and myself and makes a Facebook Messenger group with the person that I shared with for her. Do you know why? It's called building a relationship. So every once in a while, I will go back and build it. See, I mean, like Lisa just said, you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is a good way for Lisa to hold me accountable. Like, let's say, you know, she has a question for somebody and I let her share with the person. Let's just say it's Ben, seen by Ben. You can see where it says the person's seen it, so you know they've looked at it. And then see, Ben puts a thumbs up. See? So this right here. And then you can, if I click this start a group chat, it starts a group chat. If I click start a group call, it starts a group call. I can also click here, if you guys can see this, and I can add people to this chat, right? And I can mute this conversation or I can ignore it, right? All right. So like, here's one that Destiny did, right? Created a group, Jeremiah and myself, right? Here's one that we did. I did a call with Jeremiah. Destiny went back in here. You can see we just did a call with him. If I want to, if the conversation's over, I continue to keep that conversation building over a long period of time. Why? Because I just want to build relationships with people. You just stay in communication with people, and eventually people see you and want to know what you're doing. Guys, we're not quitting. Do you think Debbie's going anywhere? It's a Pro 5. Do you think she's going anywhere? No. You know, I said this to people, you know, we obviously have to say things differently, but a lot of times if you go back to your customers and you educate them the way you're supposed to, you guys just have to build. Some of you are afraid to build relationships with people.
That's what I wanted to ask her. If she had like something written that she gave her patients.
She does. I'll show it to you. It's on one of her things.
Okay.
All right. Does anybody have a comment or question before we go? We got 4 minutes. Thank you guys for all being on. We had a great turnout tonight. I really appreciate it. Anybody have a comment or a question? All right. So guys, I'm going to leave you with this. All right. Go sign up for the regional. Please. If you can go, go. If you can't, you can't. But if you can, please go. Some of you have not registered because I can see in my back office who hasn't registered. It's on my team. All right. So hopefully next week, I'm going to challenge you guys to come on and tell me that you've done it. Vic did his. Lisa and I did ours. Sherry and Bob did theirs. I know Debbie told me that before today she did hers. So, and I'm super excited. March, we have LVA, which is going to be awesome. I'm teaching in
Thank you,
Bethesda.
Dave.
Bethesda, Mike did his.
Drew
Mike and I will be
Perfect.
together. That'll be fun. I feel like I haven't seen him in ages. Right? How you doing? All right. So,
Somebody at church said that.
oh
out
yeah,
loud.
somebody said
And
that
Mike's
today.
like,
Remind me.
"I can do it."
He's from Brooklyn, Mike. He's from Brooklyn. So, all right, guys. I love you guys. Have a great night. I'll see you next Sunday. Be blessed. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you, Dustin.